Hey, Tom here from the Run Testers. In this video, I'm going to be doing a comparison between the New Balance More V6 and the Asics Gel-Nimbus 27. Let's take a look. The New Balance Fresh Foam X More V6 costs £150 or $154.99. It weighs 291 grams or 10.3 ounces for men in a size 8, and the drop is 4mm. The Asics Gel-Nimbus 27 costs £180 or $165. It weighs 306 grams or 10.8 ounces for men in a size 8, and the drop is 8mm. The More has always been a shoe designed for easy mile comfort. Over the previous versions, it has seen a number of developments, with the More V5 delivering a noticeably softer ride than its predecessors. And although welcomed by some, that change did have an adverse effect on the stability of the shoe. The More V6 makes a few tweaks across the shoe to rectify that, including a more structured heel counter and higher sidewalls, aiming to continue the comfort people expect from the More line, but with plenty of support. The shoe also features a roomier engineered mesh upper to improve the fit, and there's a modest level of outsole rubber to protect the midsole and provide a good level of grip. The New Balance More V6 is also available in a wide version. The Asics Gel-Nimbus 27 isn't a drastic update to its predecessor, but it does include a couple of big updates to improve the overall comfort of the shoe. The most important of those is an increase in the stack height of FF Blast Eco midsole foam by 2mm to add even more cushioning to the ride, and the other is a new engineered Jacquard mesh upper to improve comfort and breathability. In the rear of the shoe, you'll still find the same pure gel technology designed to improve shock absorption, and there's an Ultralight X55 sock liner to add even more cushioning to the ride. Like the earlier versions, there's still plenty of padding across the upper, including a knit rib collar, as well as a gusseted tongue wing fit system to ensure a good fit. On the outsole is a hybrid Asics grip to provide grip and protect the midsole. Both of these shoes have plenty of space before my big toe. There's a little bit more before it in the Gel-Nimbus 27, but pretty similar. And they're also pretty spacious across the whole length of the shoe. So in both of these shoes, in my UK size 8, they're very, very comfortable. I've no issues with either of these shoes. There's plenty of space in the midfoot. There's loads of padding in both of them as well, around the back, around the tongue on the More V6 is a little bit more padded. You get this sort of gusseted, thinner tongue in the Gel-Nimbus 27. But it fits really, really comfortably. Both of these shoes are fully designed for comfort and they do a great job at it. So I definitely stay to my UK size 8 in both of these shoes. So I said there that these shoes are shoes that are designed for all out comfort, and they're shoes that do it very, very well. Over the past year, they are probably topping the list for comfortable shoes out there, and they are shoes that don't really do a lot else other than that. So the New Balance More V6, I've talked about the New Balance More range a lot in over the past few years. I'm a really big fan of it. It works really, really well for my running style, and it does a job. The one job it does really, really well. So the More V6, there has had a few changes over the past few versions of the More. The More V5 was a lot softer. The new updated midsole was very, very soft, and as a result, it was slightly less stable, or probably quite a bit more than slightly less stable than the previous version. And in the More V6, New Balance has tried to fix that by adding a little bit more stability. The geometry has changed slightly in the shoe, and it is a little bit of that. It definitely feels a little bit more stable, and as a result, it probably feels a very tiny bit less bouncy, but very, very minor. And I could barely notice it when I was out on the run. It feels very, very similar to the More V5 for me. You just get this tiny bit more stability if you need it, but I didn't really notice a massive difference from the More V5, so I enjoyed it just as much as running the More V5, and I was a big fan of that shoe. So it's a shoe that is very much focused on comfort. It's a shoe that I use for easy runs. It's a shoe that I use for longer easy runs, recovery runs, anything where I'm not really putting in loads of effort and I'm not trying to pick up a pace at all. So I'll probably run in this shoe 5-minute kilometers, up to like 5-30-minute kilometers, which is my easy pace, which I'm running most of the time at the moment. And it's just comfort. It lands you comfortably, it rolls you through nicely. It's got a really big wide base on it, apparently slightly wider than the More V5 to add a bit more stability, and it just guides your foot nicely as you're running. It rolls through nicely. There's a nice sort of geometry shape to the shoe. It just does that comfort, easy running really, really well. And that's it. You can't pick up the pace in this shoe. It's not designed for that. It just doesn't feel like the midsole's designed for that at all. You do get a bit of energy return in this, but it's by no means a quick, responsive energy return. It's very smooth, sort of you step into it and you just get it back very slowly. So you definitely not use this for anything other than easy runs. But for that, it's a fantastic shoe, and I really, really like running in this shoe still. The Gel-Nimbus 27, similar. I'm not as big a fan of the Gel-Nimbus 27 because the midsole is a little bit firmer, which is actually, for me, that's a negative, but for some people that's probably more a positive, because a lot of people don't like the midsole in the More V5 and the More V6. So you get a bit more stability in the Asics Gel-Nimbus 27. But what I do find you get as well, which is the reason I'm not as big a fan of the shoe, is that the transition just isn't as good for me. What I find is that, unlike the More V6, which rolls me nicely through, this just feels to sort of deaden me. So I'll hit the floor, pick my foot up and keep going, but it doesn't really feel like there's a smooth heel to toe transition. It's not a major issue for a lot of runs that I would use this shoe for, or all of the runs that I would use this for. If I'm just going out and want a nice comfy run, I'm not bothered about speed, I'm not bothered about like maintaining a consistent training pace. It's very good for that. It's just not a shoe that I think has as nice a roll through as a lot of the other cushion shoes I use. That's not the case for everyone, and I do know some people really like this shoe. I just think that's the bit that's missing for me in the Gel-Nimbus 27, and the fact that it's a little bit firmer. It's by no means the firmest shoe around, but it's definitely a bit firmer than the New Balance More V6. Other than that, it is a solid shoe. It's comfortable. It's probably a little bit more stable as a result of that midsole than the New Balance More V6, but for me, it's just that roll through. Everything other than that, I think it's a very comfortable, nice cushioned shoe that definitely ticks a lot of boxes if you're just looking for pure comfort. And I know a lot of people like this shoe for just walking around in as well, because it's a little bit more stable and comfortable. The outsole of the More V6, pretty similar to what's on the previous versions. So the midsole is quite delicate. There is quite a beefy chunk of rubber on the outsole, but I am getting a little bit of wear there, which is similar to what I got in the More V5, which held up pretty well actually. So it's still, I'd say that's the only area that's really a risk, but the outsole is actually pretty good. The rubber's okay. It's not the grippiest rubber in the world, but it's not bad at all. Gel-Nimbus 27 has a similar layer of it. It's got a fairly thick layer of rubber, and it's held up really, really well. So I think the grip on these is pretty much the same. Okay, so my verdict on these two shoes. So I like both of these shoes, but I am a way bigger fan of the More range. It just works better for me, just because when I'm looking for a cushion shoe, I want softness. I just want it to feel really, really nice. I want to go out for a run, and I want to be in the most comfortable position possible. I don't want to run fast. I'm looking for versatility. The More V6 gives me all of that stuff. It's just a very comfortable. I like the level of squish in the midsole. It just feels really nice to run in. So out of these two shoes, I'd definitely go for that, because that's the only thing I'm really looking for when I'm going for easy shoes. There's not really anything else that the Nimbus Gel-Nimbus 27 does above that. But I think if you do want a bit more stability in a shoe, then you might want to look at the Gel-Nimbus 27 instead of the More V6, because if you really do need a bit more stability and you're not looking at a specific stability shoe, you get a bit more of it in the Gel-Nimbus 27. But I just think the More V6 is a more enjoyable shoe, nicer roll through, nicer transition, and I really enjoy taking this out for runs, whereas the Gel-Nimbus 27 I rarely take out, just because of that deadening feeling that I get when I'm running in it. The other thing with these two shoes is the price. Now the New Balance More V6, it has gone up by £10 in comparison to the More V5, which is a bit annoying because there's not been any major changes to it. So the Asics Gel-Nimbus 27 is actually £180 in the UK, so it's a massive price difference between these two shoes. But I think the New Balance More V6 is better than the Gel-Nimbus 27. But both of these shoes, the Gel-Nimbus 27 you can find it considerably cheaper because it's been out for quite a while now. New Balance More V6 is one of those shoes that seems to go down in price quite quickly anyway, so that you can actually find the V6 cheaper in a lot of places at the moment, and the More V5 is significantly cheaper. You can get that in quite a big drop in price from the original price of the More V5. So out of these two shoes, I would suggest going for the New Balance More V6 unless you wanted a shoe with a bit more stability. I would also say that if you're going to go and buy the New Balance More V6, you might want to get the New Balance More V5 significantly cheaper, because there's not any major differences to it, and the slight stability benefits you're getting from it aren't massive, so it's not going to make a big difference, and you can save yourself quite a bit of money. So that's it from me on this Versus. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that little bell. If you're going to catch us late, you find it to our podcast, which comes out a couple of times each month. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.